All right, good morning. Today is July 10th, 2024, and we are going to look at the Bitcoin price action and see what the charts are telling us. I'm using ICT concepts. Keep in mind, I am a student of the concepts. I am still learning, so doing my best with what I know. Do not follow or use this for actual trading. You will lose money if you do. All right, with that out of the way, we're looking at the monthly chart, okay? And as I mentioned in previous price analyses, I just, and looking back, we moved up. We always seem to move up, creating multiple BISIs, buy-side imbalances, sell-side inefficiencies, or bullish for value gaps, coming back down through all of them except for one or two at the bottom. And maybe this would be count as an exception, but we also didn't move up to new highs. So over here we had new highs. Anyway, that argument has limited utility anyway, because I don't think that we necessarily look at past performance in order to determine what's likely to happen. Just look at the charts itself. But looking at the chart itself, it seems highly unlikely. This actually should be really showing probably just on weekly. Seems highly unlikely that we're not going to come and rebalance this imbalance somewhat more, possibly even coming down to here. I don't know for a fact. It's just a suspicion, strong suspicion. And when we look at the weekly time frame, as I mentioned yesterday, last week was the first time in all this time, let's just say from the first time since, arguably, we had a bearish market structure shift since then, over here, right? Have we had a weekly close below an intermediate term low? I don't think so. I don't think so until here. So that means that we have the first bearish weekly market structure shift in 602 days. That's a lot of time. I don't know how that's close to 2 years, not quite, but that's a long time. So I think that's probably significant. I think so. And I was seeing analysis this morning. Some expert on YouTube was talking about how he thinks that we've hit the bottom of the correction. I don't pretend to know for sure. I'm just sharing what I see. And that is that we've closed below this intermediate term low over here. We've closed below the 50% mark last week on this BISI here. And there's all this space over here of, imbalanced buy-side imbalances that are just calling for a rebalance, I think, which could take us down easily down to certainly down to the 50,000 or so, right? And arguably down to 40K, maybe even lower. I don't know. But I would not be surprised if over the coming weeks we end up dropping another 28 or 30%, which would be roughly 41% off all-time high, 45% off all-time high. Bitcoin has done worse in the past. But again, past performance isn't the indicator we're using. We're just looking to study price action. Let's look at the daily chart. So on the daily chart, Bitcoin has been in a downtrend for quite a while, bearish price delivery. We have had a market structure shift, all the way back to here. Okay, we could say that we've been we had a close below over here. That was on June 14th, and we've continued to go down with a bearish order block, continue another bearish order block, which we might have just come up and bounced off of, right? ICT says this is the most sensitive part of the order block, the wick that extends from it. Although we didn't quite hit it, so I'm not sure. But we also have this SIBI up here and the SIBI over here and the SIBI over here and these inverted for value gap. I think that this would qualify as a bearish order block right there, which I've marked off over there. And we didn't quite come all the way back up to it. What we did do, though, on the daily was we came up beyond equilibrium. If we're looking at this dealing range from here to here, and a dealing range is determined by where we see a sweep of buy side and a sweep of sell side, which we have on, we have buy side we swept over there, and sell side we swept over here, all this. So that would be a dealing range. It's reasonable to look for a retracement into the optimal trade entry OTE zone of 0.62 to 0.79%. We almost came up to there, 62, which sometimes we don't, but we did go above into premium above equilibrium. And we're still on this daily chart, the daily candle with 10 hours left to the day. So who knows? What? Oh, this is the quadrants of the weekly BISI over there. Let's go down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, this is what we have on the 4 hour. All right, so we have this dealing range. Same dealing range I marked off over there. We had buy side liquidity above here and above there, and it's been taken out. So let's remove these. This is the weekly, what do you call it? The weekly trend line that I had. I'm going to take it off because it's just causing extra noise here. So what's going on in the 4 hour? 4 hour I find is a really good bellwether time frame for this. Lower than that, not as much, and higher than that, of course, is excellent, but it gives us a sense as to what might be happening in the coming few days. So we came down, we took sell side liquidity, we came back up, we inverted, so we had an inversion for value gap over here, okay? We then went down below it again with another SIBI over there and came back up, inverting. And we even had a bit of follow through, but we're not seeing much displacement at all. We're not seeing bullish displacement. The last bullish displacement that we had was a little bit over here. Perhaps you can call this displacement. It's moving up, but it's a swing failure. We failed to get above over here by this one, so you can say we were just engineering buy side liquidity. But then we went and we swept that over here. So what next? I'm not sure. But again, my argument is that based on the daily and the weekly, I suspect we're going lower. Now, what I did say in the last couple of Bitcoin price analyses is that there's a good chance that we may go higher before going lower. And I still think there is a good chance that we're going higher before going lower. I just don't, it's a little hard for me to tell which is most likely. On the 1 hour, it does look like we're going to continue lower. We have an hourly BISI down here, which we rejected off of twice the last couple of days. But again, then we swept liquidity down here, came back up, engineered buy side, swept that buy side, came back down, rejected off of it with several hourly the SIBIs here, and rebalanced. We respected 50% equilibrium or consequent encroachment of this SIBI over here. So for short term, maybe we come back up and then continue lower. Maybe we won't retrace higher than we did, which is not even reaching the 62% of the OTE zones here. So I don't know. I would not be surprised if we go higher before going lower. I would also not be surprised if we just continue lower. And that is today's Bitcoin analysis. And I would love to hear what you think in the comments.